Hi, I'm Inplay. I'm creating free video content teaching people how to trade Betfair absolutely for free. If you're enjoying my videos or you're learning from them, please support me back by hitting the subscribe button, and also don't forget to hit the like button on any videos you watch. This will enable me to create more free content for you so you can learn to become a better trader. Best of luck in the markets.
So, looking at the race timer, I'm just going to show you the settings here. I've got it set up. You can see it's already read the race information from the Geek Toy. So this race is 2 miles 6 furlongs. It's set up where I want my audio and visual alerts. I'll just show you the settings window quickly. So in here you can see you can set up whatever sound files you choose. I use these annoying Simpson sounds because I can't miss them basically. You can have whatever sounds you want, but I do suggest you get something annoying that you're not going to overlook. And then you can set what times you want. So I'll just give you an example here. I have the progress bar at 10%. I don't like to trade the beginning of the race because I don't want to accidentally lay a front runner. For example, the price comes crashing and I get caught out. But if I show you, if you watch this bar here, look, that first warning, if I change that to 20%, for example, I then hit save settings, see the bar moved, and I'll set it back because I like it at 10%. Oops, we'll get there in a minute. Set it back at 10%. Now you can set the just change that back. Sorry, you can set the where you want your alarms to be throughout the race. This one has 6 timers on it with audio alerts and visual alerts.
20 seconds.
The progress of the race. And also, if you wanted to, you could change the time for the races. These times here, the defaults, are the average time
10
for
seconds.
each distance. Obviously, bear in mind that in the summer,
I'm out of here, man.
Might finish a bit quicker with faster ground. In winter, they might be a bit
0
slower.
seconds.
It's really the summertime that you need to be more cautious about, because it doesn't matter if the race finishes longer and you're out safely. It really matters if you're not. So yeah, and if you wanted less alarms, you've just got to set them as it did. Instructions here to just turn them off, basically. Anyway, I'll show you in action on this race here. So this is the 1 minute to 5 on a Sunday, 29th of May 2022. I'll show you the race timer in action and how I use it to make money.
10 runners in this handicap hurdle, and yet we had a match and a half opener for a maiden hurdle contest. A bit of a puzzle still as to field sizes.
So we're just waiting for this race to start at the moment. Pretty boring. You've got to be pretty patient. Now bear in mind, there may not be enough liquidity in this race. The distance is good. The longer the distance, the better chance you have of making cash. I do not recommend you trade in play short races.
Doing a little bit of a pirouette.
Because that will get you into trouble.
And there
but
are.
I'll show you now how I'm going to use this.
Market in play.
So the race timer has now activated, and it is now, you can see the timer has started. So that will keep going right to the end of the race. We expect this race to last about 5 minutes and 56 seconds for the distance. So right now it's a bit too dangerous, and you can see that if you look at the race, I'll leave the pause there. If you look at the race, that we've got a horse out the front. If I'd accidentally laid that runner, whichever one it is, I think it's the favourite, then I'd be looking at a loss. So we wait until that first bit of the race is over.
Oakley dokley.
Now you've just heard the warning sound that I use to tell me it's okay to trade. So let's do a bit of trading.
White, blue and yellow stripes, the second of the greys Zinat, and held up towards the back Independence in the white and red.
So you can see
in the green and yellow,
with the race timer, this is the danger zone where you're going to blow your bank, get into trouble. So whether you're at a profit or a loss at this stage, you need to close your position off every time. It's really important. I cut off 20%, and then I also have that little warning. I can't show you on there because it will stop the timer, but I have that as 80% and that one at 75 to give me a warning that it's coming up.
Independence, who'd be about 8 to 10 lengths.
So right now I
leader.
can't see an opportunity.
Has a
The
clear
markets are
advantage to
buttoned
Height
up,
of
so we're
Fame.
just going to wait.
She passes the winning line for the first
And
time.
we need to get our
with a 2-length
opportunity
lead.
within this time
What's My
frame.
Line
And if
is
we
in second
don't,
place.
we're going to lose
Further
money.
away,
If we do,
Branson,
we will
Missouri
make money.
is in third. Ramore will be 3 wide round the turn. Between that pair is Say Nothing. Blood Eagle ahead of Age of Wisdom. Tara Nice has just moved up on the outside, and Independence joins
So you can see the markets aren't really moving around much at the moment, and I don't like to go for less than 4 ticks. I'm not getting 4 ticks, so you might as well trade pre-race.
In the contest. The Height of Fame over in the lead.
So I'm just waiting for the markets to start moving around a little bit more,
Right to the buckle end there,
so we can get our trade through and make a few quid.
She's struggling to get it back. They've lost both
So
of
at
them,
the moment,
but,
because there's no money
still
down
without a
here,
pedal
and
as they
there's a
approach
bit of
the
money
next,
at
but has
4
got it
and
back
nothing
in
at
good
4-1
time.
hardly, I'm just going to
So
pop
Height of Fame leads.
a speculative trade in there,
My line in
and
second.
I'm also going to go
Say
for
Nothing
6
despite
ticks.
that error. I don't think lost a massive amount of ground. Ramore Wills on that one outside and has made a length on them. An awkward landing by Blood Eagle.
So you can see I haven't even got my hands on the
Right
computer or the
So a
mouse at
couple
the
of
moment, I'm
scrappy jumps
just
down the back,
waiting
Say
for the
Nothing and
opportunity.
Blood Eagle, the culprits. But the Height of Fame leads
What we
a
hope
still
to see
completely
is the
intact
price will
field
just
by
come
2
down, pick
lengths.
us up and move
From in
straight back
second,
out
What's
with
My
a big
Line?
bet. If it
Racing in
doesn't,
third place is
doesn't
Branson,
matter. There's
Missouri
more
with
races.
Ramore
There's always
Will.
more races.
Say Nothing, and then the stripe
Don't
colours
have
of
to do
Age of
anything
Wisdom.
silly.
Blood Eagle just on the inside of Tara Nice. Zidat and Independence remain at the back of the
So
field.
if you watch
The
that race
pursuers in
time up
particular
there,
are well
you can
bunched.
see that I'm
Height of
going to hit
Fame,
that halfway
Gavin
stage of the
Sheehan seems
race.
intent on
You'll
making
hear a
this a
warning.
reasonable test, and she has
Here it
extended the
comes.
advantage to round about 4 or 5 lengths now as she heads
So I've
up
got it
the
as a deer,
home
but you can
straight,
set
and the race
that
is
to
on
whatever
towards
audio
flight number
alert you
7
want.
of the
Doesn't
11.
have to be The Simpsons, it
The
can
Height
be
of
whatever you
Fame
want.
leading What's My Line and Branson, Missouri towards the next
So
couple
I'm
of
going to
hurdles.
cancel
The
that
Height of Fame
position
just
off
put in
now
extra
because
stride there.
obviously
Gavin Sheehan saw a long
we ain't going to
stride,
get
and the Height
matched
of Fame
anytime
wasn't too
soon.
sure. And the Height of
Just hit the
Fame
X key,
has clattered
reset
her
the
way through it
markets
and
and
leads by
reassess the
about 3
situation.
lengths. What's My Line in second in the stripe colours, very well grouped in behind. Ramore Will.
You can
Say
see the
Nothing,
markets are still
and on
quite
the
buttoned
inside,
up.
Branson,
If you look
Missouri.
at the money
Blood Eagle,
changing
Age of
hands, this
Wisdom
is
just
what
pushed
this
along to
is
hold the
for. You can
spot.
see there's some
Still no
gaps in
move
the
from
market and we
Independence, who's
don't
right at the
want,
back with
say that
Zidat
was our
and Tara
entry,
Nice.
we don't want to
The
wait that
field will
long
be
for
covered
our
by round
exit because the
about 5
market could have
lengths as
moved
they head out
against us
on
in
their
that
final
time.
circuit. The Height of
So it's
Fame
really
leading
important
from in
to be
second. What's
careful.
My Line? Branson, Missouri still shows
So
in
I'm going to pop
third.
some money
Say
down here at
Nothing. In
4-3 because I
fourth place
think
in white and green colours. Then Ramore Will.
I'm out
that
of
is a
here,
good
man.
position
Next.
at the moment.
There's a few in behind, just looking for a
The
little bit of
market is way
daylight.
above. There's money
All the
beneath me
horses
I
in
can get out
midfield, which is making it
against if it
difficult for
goes
likes of
wrong,
Independence
and
to
there's
get
plenty of
by them.
time.
Tara Nice decides to go the wide route as the Height of Fame continues to lead. The Height of Fame from What's My Line.
I'm also going to have a
These,
look
we have
over here
Ramore
at
Will.
5-2
1 length
because I
deep
think
down
that
is
is a good
Zinat,
position.
the grey in the
But look at the
white,
race
blue and
timer.
yellow
We may
stripes,
have to
and
not
proving
take a
to
profit in
come
this
through and
race.
chase the leaders with Branson, Missouri next. The Height of Fame
I'm now
is
going to
just
go
about
for
joined
8
over that, and again
ticks.
she clattered her way through it. Tara Nice is the other
Oh,
one
that
that's
was
improved
annoying. We
with
didn't quite
Zidat.
get matched there.
Never
It was
been
very
far away.
close.
What's My Line still holds
I'm out
second
of here,
place.
man.
Independence free of the traffic.
So that's the race timer telling me it's dangerous to trade now. So we need to be
And
out
then
as quick
Age
as
of
we
Wisdom
can.
appeared a bit short of room there. So a few of them getting in each other's way behind the leader, and Independence has had to come very wide indeed in pursuit of this leader, who remains the
We need
Height
that
of
money
Fame.
out,
Branson,
and now
Missouri
we're
in
done.
second
Sucker.
place. Then behind
So now
them
you
is
hear the
pushed
sucker
along.
sound.
What's My Line? Age of Wisdom, Independence on the extreme left. The Height of
That sucker sound is warning me that we're going into the red zone. You heard the one beforehand that gave me the warning that I need to be out soon. We got out. Now, obviously, this doesn't look like this horse is going to win, but if it was going to go on and win, we could be in a lot of trouble. So just having that warning to tell you when to trade and when not to trade is the best thing. And if you get to that point and you haven't got a trade through, then just wait for the next race. Don't risk your money, because that's where most people go wrong and lose. They just risk their money on silly things. So anyway, that's a little bit of the
Market
race timer.
suspended.
If you need a copy, then give me a shout, drop me an email. Email's in the description. Best of luck in the market.
On the inside for Shane Kelly with the fractional advantage over
I'm out of here, man.
Heffernan in second. They're linked in front of the
Yeah, very
white-faced
nice,
Persian
quick,
Wolf. On the
easy
outside of
4
these
quid.
is Here's Hoping. Edge of My Seat is next to the rail. They're followed by Pride of Pimlico. Al Hajib towards the
Could have
outside
gone
with
a lot more
Raju.
tips than that, couldn't
Brookstream
we?
tries to get closer, and Fenner Cross on the outside, heading down inside the
I'm
final
out of here, man.
2 furlongs, and it's Labaland and
Can't
he strikes
regret
the front
that
for
since
Shane
I placed
Heffernan,
the
goes
bet.
on by a length of 2 to Here's Hoping, chasing on the outside. Fenner Cross away
So-
for all in company with Al
Sucker.
Hajib, and Edge of My Seat is running on, racing down inside the final furlong, and
Fucking hell.
it's Edge of
Blows
My
a
Seat
lot
who
off.
grabs Labaland.
What did
With Here's
Ripstream
Hoping on
actually
the
do?
outside, Fenner Cross inside, well inside the final furlong. Fenner Cross within the inside, Miss Cunning, and it's Miss Cunning and Fenner Cross up to the line. line. Fenner Cross just gets the advantage close home and wins by half a length. From in second place, Miss
Market suspended.
Okay, I wasn't expecting this to be a Racetimer video, but you can see, look, you know, we made money on Fenner Cross. We got the timing out right. We stopped trading when it got dangerous, and the horse came back and won. That is another example why the Racetimer is so good, because otherwise we could have been looking at a big loss. And you saw there was problems. I had problems. I cocked that trade up totally. But we got away with it. And why did we get away with it? Because we've got the Racetimer to guide us. The Racetimer, I'll tell you, this is written by a geezer called Andy, known as Cran. He is an absolute genius for writing it in the first place, and also for putting up my crap for getting him to rewrite it. It is the most genius piece of software ever.
With on that was inside Rathnally and Zoe as they jump the flight number 4, which was the last in the circuit's time. The green and orange jacket of Ballyfin and Lady chases those next in the field on the outside, and the back 3 as they pass the winning post, a slightly tighter bunch are down the road, and the back 2 are Pharisees on the inside of College Causeway. So heading out on the final circuit, 5 flights left to jump and about 9 furlongs left to race, and the lead slightly reduced advantage for Must Meet Cecil, who's about 3 to 4 lengths in front as they come to this 5th flight. Lands about 4 in front of Boron Song in second. Jumping at third on the inside is Manelli Youngie, who's in company with Laser Focus. XD close up behind those now in 5, with all walks of life next in the field, and that one's outside. A length then to find Eagle Terrace, who in turn is a length in front of Flyaway Maggie in there.
Made a profit on some of the money, some of it was scratched.
Of Chavajod Rathnally
Price has gone out, but you know, we're not in this game to gamble, are we?
Causeway. Down the back straight, inside the halfway point, and on the run to the flight, which is 4 from the finish. And Must Meet Cecil continues to take them along, in fact has extended its advantage again to about 8 to 10 lengths as they pass the 3/4 of a mile point. Fluent over it.
I'm out of here, man.
Alex D moving up on the outside, actually making a mistake there, Alex D, which halted its momentum.
Because it's an Irish race, we want to be out earlier.
Song third on the inside, half a length then to
Walks of
Manelli
life, where's it
Youngie,
gone?
who
Oh,
turns
crikey, it's not even
4
the
to
top
5
3.
lengths in front of Flyaway Maggie in all walks of life, and they're in front of Eagle Terrace. As they come to the third last flight, the last in the back straight, and Must Meet Cecil, reduced advantage again, only about half a dozen lengths in front, jumping that over Laser Focus in second, Boron Song third.
I'm out of here, man.
Flyaway Maggie is next, a length and a half in front of Alex D. All walks of life pushed along behind those ahead of Eagle Terrace, and trying to stay on from out of the pack is down the road, but heading towards the turn of the straight inside the 3 furlong point. 2 flights left to jump when they swing in, and Must Meet Cecil continues in the lead, but at a reduced advantage as Laser Focus closes up to within 3 to 4 lengths now in second. Boron Song is in third as they come down
Dodgy one, that, wasn't it? Sort of went into the red a little bit.
Jumps at about 3 to 4 in front of Laser
Don't know if the
Focus in
horse will
second.
win or
Boron
not.
Song third on the inside. Manelli Youngie under pressure in 4, and they're followed by All Walks of Life, who's keeping on from mid-division as they head down to.
So yeah, with Irish racing, you want to bet a little bit earlier. Looks like, is it? Looks like it's going to win, isn't it? With the market saying it probably is. But yeah, that was dangerous. I should have been out earlier. I shouldn't have gone for that last trade. It was a bit greedy of me. And you can see the Racetimer just flicked into the red. But with Irish racing, you want to be out earlier.
Market suspended.
Because the poor liquidity.
And Moonlit Warrior inside the final 6.5 furlongs. About to swing right-handed. And the order pretty much unchanged as they make this turn now. Dark Mystery by a bit more than a length. 2 Deciduous in second place. De Vega's Warrior on the inside. Duty Bound. And Moonlit Warrior will have to pass the front 4 to win here as they approach the turn in, and Moonlit Warrior being given the hurry up in last place now.
I'm out of here, man.
Turning in then, 3.5 furlongs from the finish. And Dark Mystery rejoined by Deciduous. Duty Bound with a chance begins to stay on. De Vega's Warrior looking a bit short of toe, and Moonlit Warrior down the outside under quite a heavy drive now. Up the hill and approaching the 2 furlong marker. Deciduous and Dark Mystery, they battled it out all the way. Duty Bound is
I'm out of here, man.
third out wide. Moonlit Warrior is still staying on, a horse who stayed over further last time, and then De Vega's Warrior. Duty Bound possibly just gets to the front now. Moonlit Warrior on the outside. Duty Bound from Moonlit Warrior as they race up towards the line. Duty Bound goes a length and a half clear of Moonlit Warrior, and inside the final 50 it's a royal win at Sandown.
That's why the Racetimer is so important.
Market suspended.
I got 15.6 out of that for a few quid at the right time before it was too dangerous. So you can see how I use the Racetimer to either save me money or make me money. It's worth its weight in gold. I can't thank Cran the author enough for creating that bit of software and basically giving me a living.
Jamie Spencer, slightly wider of Bugle Major at the back. So heading
About to
past
jump
us
in
with a
front of that
circuit to
400
go.
quid, but then I see money
And
on
in front
the
we have Lexington
backside,
Knights
so
and Liam Brown. From in
see the
second
price has
place,
been held up.
Arabian Warrior alongside
Shame.
King Francis, the one ride here for James Doyle this evening. So race
See an
around the
opportunity over here
turn.
possibly though.
Then comes
We're only looking
Spirit
for a
Mixer,
spike.
followed through by Golden
We're
Valor,
just
Man of
hoping,
Riddles
try and place a big
and
bet,
Bugle
picks us up, and we're
Major
matched.
as they start to make their way
That's
down
it.
the back
We'll
straight
wait to see if it
for the
happens or
final
not. If it
time.
don't,
Inside the 7.
I can cancel off
Lexington
the X
Knight still
key.
leading from Arabian Warrior in second place. Then comes King Francis in the green and white in third place, out slightly wider Spirit Mixer. Golden Valor comes next, then comes Man of Riddles and Bugle Major as they head down the back straight with just over 5 furlongs to go. Lexington Knight still leading from Arabian Warrior in second place. Then comes King Francis, who's about 2.5 lengths off the gallop, out slightly wider Spirit Mixer, chased
No, I
through
don't
by
want to get
Golden
caught on
Valor,
both of these.
out wider Man of Riddles, and then we
Because it's
have
a muddle
Bugle
if you
Major.
do. Cancelling that
Heading
one
to
off.
the final half mile. Lexington Knight
Now.
still leading from in second place Arabian Warrior. King Francis hasn't left the rail. James Doyle in third place.
And
Chased
the
through
other
by
7
Spirit
please.
Mixer, ridden along
You
Golden
go.
Valor. Man of Riddles now being pushed along. And then comes Bugle Major as they race
I'm
then
outta here,
inside
man.
the 3, ridden along Lexington Knight. Now Arabian Warrior is right up sides. In behind Spirit Mixer, with King Francis still going pretty well. Chased through by Golden Valor, Man of Riddles and Bugle Major.
I don't know,
Inside
it's
the
too
2,
dangerous,
Arabian
too
Warrior's
late.
gone on now.
Let's not
From
do it.
Lexington
£3.
Knight under pressure. King Francis has got a gap. Spirit Mixer's going very
I'm
nicely.
outta here,
well,
man.
Gap. Man of Riddles trying to run on in behind them with Golden Valor.
Don't trade
Spirit
late.
Mixer hits the
Never
front.
trade late.
Heading inside the final furlong.
Never
It's
have an
Spirit
open
Mixer
position
and Callum
this time in
Hutchinson
the race,
immediately
ever.
with 2 lengths clear.
Sucker.
King Francis in second place. Then comes Arabian Warrior and Man of Riddles. But this is impressive. Spirit Mixer coming clear for Callum Hutchinson has bolted up and wins by a
Market
wide
Now with
margin.
rider Harry Davis keen to try and grab the position closest to that far rail. Next in the field is Cherry Cola, who races alongside Saratoga Gold, and the back marker is Diamond Bay. They've gone through the intersection of the tracks and now they begin to climb. And they climb on now inside the final 7 furlongs, and Goshen has got the lead. It's Goshen, but only just to Cloud Thunder, who has pestered him all the way. Just in behind them, Nelly Moon, followed by Mellow Magic and Agaggio. 2 lengths back to Cherry Cola, a half length Saratoga Gold, and a further 2 lengths to Diamond Bay. They've now gone to the top of the hill once again, and now they will freewheel as they enter the 5 furlong
I've been
point.
matched by now.
And it is Goshen in his bid for a 10th career success, and he's opened up now by 2. Nelly Moon gives
Fucking
chase
typical,
into
innit?
second. Cloud Thunder already been ridden along. Mellow Magic forced to go a little wide around Cloud Thunder, who begins now to drop
I'm outta here,
away.
man.
They're racing now on towards the final 3.5 furlongs. Goshen's lead down to only a length as he tacks
Don't care if
across
he wins or
towards
not
the
now.
near side. Giving
Race
chase is
timer.
Mellow Magic in second.
Don't really
place.
like trading
Nelly
favourites
Moon,
like that,
Cherry Cola,
but, you know.
Agaggio, as they now race on towards the
You kind of see the risk more like that, do you know what I mean? But it is the same elsewhere. I still get the same profit for the same liability, but when you're seeing it like
I'm outta here, man.
£70 or whatever, it's dodgy. It doesn't matter if the horse went or not now, because we're matched both sides of the book. It could do, it could not. And at the time, I didn't know. All I thought about was, look, you can see they're still running. I'm out a long time ago.
Sucker.
So even if it does win the race or not, you could see there was millions of times where I could have got matched, and that's how I make my money, by making sure that I'm in a good opportunity, don't gamble, and make sure there's many
Market suspended.
times and enough time for me to get matched over and over. Use the race timer.
Which they all jumped fluently, led by the late legend, Mr. Mafia, with his head carried low. Is a close second going over the third, and the other 3 are virtually in line. Vivas on the inside, Fugitives drift widest, and racing keenly between the 2 is Oxwich Bay. Rising at the 4th, Mr. Mafia came through to head the late legend.
Oakley dokley.
And Vivas on the inside of Oxwich Bay. Fugitives drift drops a couple of lengths off them. Water
Took
jump
the
on the
price,
first
didn't like the money
occasion,
waiting
Mr.
there.
Mafia
Probably
by
would get
half a
matched,
length.
but why take the risk?
From the late legend on his
Just don't take the
inside.
risk, innit? Let's go
Oxwich
in
Bay
again.
moving into a clear third on the outside of Vivas, and a couple of lengths off them, rounding the first turn, is Fugitives Drift. So out of the home straight they head, with the advantage of the inside. The late legend has regained his lead over Mr. Mafia. Oxwich Bay and Vivas.
I was traded pre-race. It's kind of where I'm sitting around at the bottom of the pile. There's also money behind me as well. It's in the same price, but it's still behind me.
Then his four
So I'm
rivals
happy.
is in rear.
So if I see that going, I can just get out against it quick.
Number 6
like that.
upcoming, the late legend, and
Protected
Mr.
my money
Mafia
there.
separated by a neck going into it.
Would have made a
Mr.
profit,
Mafia
but that's
went
not the
in
point. I
quicker,
did the right thing.
regained the lead from the late legend. Then Oxwich Bay and Vivas, and
Did the right
Fugitives
thing.
Drift
Always do
shaken
the right
up
thing.
for a few strides after jumping that
Don't
fence.
get greedy.
Again, Oxwich Bay went left into the path of Fugitives Drift.
Done it
as they
again. I
head
might
to the
actually have
open
to take
ditch
a
in the
loss on
back
this one.
straight. Number 8, Mr. Mafia
Like we will.
led over it, and Fugitives Drift made a mistake, and I think Nico de Boinville is about to pull him up. He hasn't been happy on him since flag 4, and Fugitives Drift is being eased out of the race at number 9. Mr. Mafia led over it, and he's gone a couple of lengths clear of the late legend. Vivas a length back, and Oxwich Bay now last of the 4 runners in this Richard Strawn retirement handicap chase. It's Mr. Mafia who
but we
leads
certainly
them
don't want to lose all that money
on the
down
turn
there.
out of the back
You know what I mean?
straight on
It's
the
more
first
important to protect
circuit.
that
2 lengths up
than
on
it
the
is to
late
make a
legend,
profit.
with Vivas in the checks racing in 3rd, and Oxwich Bay just a couple of lengths
30.
further behind, and about 7 lengths off the overall lead.
I'm watching the race
Last
time. There's a
of
long
the
way to
4.
go in this race, don't forget.
Heading over the last
Hell
of the
of a
road
long way to
crossings
go.
before they turn into the straight. At the end of a circuit, Mr. Mafia and the late legend have alternated in the lead. Mr. Mafia has a 3-length advantage.
I'm watching that race timer. I know it looks dodgy, but I know how much time is
The
left.
late legend, Vivas, and Oxwich
And
Bay.
even though Vivas has come into favouritism, it doesn't mean it will stay there and it won't bounce back up to us.
Up the home straight, number 11. About 8 lengths between the leader and the back marker as Mr. Mafia comes over the 12th. A couple of lengths up on the late legend and Vivas. And Oxwich Bay wasn't fluent. 5 lengths off the back of them. Coming to jump the 13th, Mr. Mafia puts himself right. Unlike Vivas, who got in deep, the late legend has closed to within a length of the leader. And Oxwich Bay is 7 lengths off them, last of the 4. Water jump for the final time, with Oxwich Bay
up there, give us that
closing
profit.
up behind his 3 rivals. Mr. Mafia leads the late legend by 2 lengths as they embark on a full circuit of the race.
Look how much time is left in this race.
Length off the late
Did I make a mistake there not taking the
Oxwich Bay
87p loss?
Turn out of the home straight.
I'm still watching that time. The only downside about this is I'm wasting time, not trading
far
something else.
side. The next they jump will be number 15 of the 22. Mr. Mafia chased into the back straight by the late legend Vivas, and finally Oxwich Bay, who's just becoming detached once again.
I'm out of here, man.
Turn the screw in front of him. Mr. Mafia by less than a length from the late legend.
So we're watching that race timer. We're going to have to get ready to take a loss soon if the price doesn't shoot out in time.
Oxwich Bay is well and truly
I still think we're going to get matched because I can see how much time's
over the
left.
16th. Mr. Mafia from the late legend
Partly
Vivas
matched
in
and the
close.
rest. And there you go.
Oxwich Bay
The race
detached by
timer.
7 lengths at the open ditch.
Now can we try
in
and
the
make
back
some
straight
money?
on the final circuit? Mr. Mafia jumping from fence to fence. Luke Scott now shaking the reins at the late legend in second. Vivas is 3 lengths off the leader, heading to the final fence in the back straight, and they're clear of
I'm outta
Oxwich
here,
Bay.
man.
Over the final fence on the far side, where Oxwich Bay did his utmost to get rid of Lewis Gordon, who sat tight, and he trails them by 8 lengths.
We've got a lot of
the late
time left
legend
here.
going up on the outside of Mr. Mafia for another challenge as they exit the back. Vivas is within 2 lengths of the front pair.
And now we're done.
They're 8 lengths clear.
Sucker.
And now, if we were still sitting at a loss on Vivas, we would have to get out now. Now, Vivas can come back and win as far as I care, but I've managed the time in the race. Didn't get too worried about it looking at a little bit of loss, but had we been looking at a loss now, this is when you're going to be in real trouble because we're in that danger zone. This is when they're going for the finish line. So, you know, it'd be nice just to show you as an example if Vivas wins. It doesn't matter if it does or it doesn't now, as far as I'm concerned, but now it's just too dangerous to trade. We do not get involved now, and you can see how the race timer has literally saved me from taking an unnecessary loss and helped me to make a profit. I'm not saying you should always hold on to your losses. Sometimes it's better to get them out, but I could see that, you know, the price had moved in too much too soon, if you know what I mean. Because when we were looking at big loss, we weren't even halfway through the race. So I knew there was so much time to come back, but at the end of the race, you don't want to be in still. Definitely don't. Race time.
Newland tonight. Will it be the night? Call the Fairies leads towards the fourth with Tough as Old Boots under the champion jockey in second. Gerritsen and Lunadora. A little bit awkward over the obstacle as they now come on towards the next, number 5. And again, all four take it safely enough with Cool the Fairies continuing to set the pace to Tough as Old Boots. Already won the best turned out prize in second place. Colours of Birkdale Bloodstock. Gerritsen is 4 lengths off them in third. And followed by Lunadora. This is Gerritsen's first run for 7 months or so as they run towards the end of the home straight.
Lots of time left on the race time, so just hang on for a second. If I have to take a £3 or £4 loss, I will do, but
is a few lengths back in third.
I'm kind of thinking
of Lunadora.
I'm probably more likely to get matched up here. I've lowered the price to remove the profit
Soldier of Fortune, Tough as Old Boots in second
because there's such a long way to go. I'm quite comfortable with this at the moment, and there you go.
On this final circuit in the Every Race Live on Racing TV Mares Maiden Hurdle. Call the Fairies by 2 lengths to Tough as Old Boots. Just about the same again to Gerritsen, although she is just being pushed along in third, and Lunadora, the grey, in 4th position, getting over the next. And they're all pretty good at that one, with Call the Fairies still leading. Tough as Old Boots making the journey on towards the 7th. They've got 4 flights left to jump.
I'm out of here, man.
Sets only separated by probably 5 lengths or not much more than that now. As they just pick up some speed, Call the Fairies. Over that to Tough as Old Boots. Gerritsen in third and Lunadora is in 4th place. So Call the Fairies with Tough as Old Boots close up on the outside. About to turn right-handed and run towards.
I think we're going to get matched here, aren't we? Yeah. And the rest, come on.
Still in third and Lunadora in 4th
frustrating.
Place. Call the Fairies, the odds-on favourite.
I'm out of here, man.
Alright, we're going to have to get it out. We can't risk our money. We would have been okay, but
14th, and he's trying to engage Call the Fairies now on
can't
Tough as
risk
Old
it.
Boots as they run towards the 3rd last. They're starting to get racing. Call the Fairies and Tough as Old Boots. They land pretty much together. Mr. Davies is getting at.
So you can see there, basically, the race timer has saved me money. I've got my trades on a couple of times, but by using the race time, I managed to manage it and get it out. And rather than taking like £3 or £4 or £5 profit, I got away. Which rather than taking the £4 or £5 profit that would have turned into a loss that I was originally going for, I managed to use the race timer to work out when it was safe to get out. I got out.
Market suspended.
I managed it by cutting down my profits, and 63p. It's not much more than a scratch trade to me, but you can see that it probably wasn't a good race to enter in the first place. But once we were a short price favourite, a second slightly bigger priced horse, and then 2 massive outsiders. But the race time has basically saved me from getting caught out on Tough as Old Boots in that occasion. So there you go. That's how it helps me.
Last time out winners, and Nazwar's victory came here, in fact, as they now reach the first. Nazwar over, What a Shock follows, and there would be between them as they now make the journey on towards number 2. So Jonathan Burke in the maroon and white, Harry Skelton in the yellow and blue on the chestnut What a Shock, who's giving £5 to his one rival today and sits 3 lengths adrift of him. Nazwar at the second, and What a Shock was quicker over it and landed right on the tail of Nazwar. So they've jumped their first 2 and now make the journey towards the right-hand bend towards their third, and Nazwar has just opened up a little bit more. It's 3.5 to 4 lengths in front of What a Shock, who was held up before coming through to win at Fakenham in his first handicap start. What a Shock. They continue their run towards flight number 6. Nazwar in first, What a Shock in second.
I'm out of here, man.
Neither gained or lost any ground at that. Still Nazwa with What a Shock following. White-faced Chestnut in second position. At what point will Harry Skelton try to come up and challenge Nazwa? At the moment, there's still 2 lengths between them as they race to the 4th last flight. Nazwa in a little bit close, and on his heels in second is What a Shock, because they've only got 3 left to jump now. So Nazwa has dictated the pace. What a Shock has followed it. And
I'm out of here, man.
Soon, Harry Skelton will have to ask him to try and put his head in front.
And the rest.
Continue their run towards the 3rd last.
That was annoying.
It is still Nazwa with What a Shock.
Let's close it off. We don't want to get involved too late. So.
Sucker.
Happy enough at the moment. This is 3 out there. Nazwa jumps it. What a Shock was quicker and is on him now. What a Shock on the outside of Nazwa. Turning for home. 2 left to jump. Nazwa and What a Shock. The 2 of them. There's just over a length between them. Jonathan Burke just starting to push Nazwa along. Harry Skelton just niggling on What a Shock now, and he's
and that would do.
Charge to make it
too late now.
Left.
Doesn't matter who wins. Either can win. None of my business now.
On the right, What a Shock. Nazwa just rose first on the left. He landed in a heap, and he's continuing to lug violently left, almost unsteerable. What a Shock. It's Nazwa then at the last. Nazwa is over 2.5 to 3 clear. Skelton not giving up on What a Shock in second, but he's hampered himself very significantly, and Nazwa striding up towards the line. 3 lengths clear, and Nazwa makes all. Nazwa.
Market suspended.
Easy money. Thanks, Racetimer. And again, that's how the Racetimer helps you to make money or not lose money, because you need to get out before it gets dangerous. I pretty much pushed that to the limits there, but I did it thanks to the Racetimer. If I'd been in just a few seconds later, it could have been very dangerous. Ends up online. That's a bit of an overreaction, isn't it? Let's get in there.
Squeeze him along on the run away from that fence.
It's got to be an overreaction, that, isn't it? It's too early in the race. Look at the Racetimer.
Come towards takeoff at the next.
Let's go 8-6 on that.
The reins for the rider on Smith's Corner on the outside, going over that obstacle as they run towards an open ditch. This is number 6.
There's no way it can come in that much this early. It's just like we're halfway through the race.
Smith's Corner on the outside.
Oh, just in case it does go on to win.
Is what's his name? He's looking for a
definitely a massive overreaction on this. It's too early.
What's his name won at Woodford last month, and he won a match here 2 weeks ago.
The SP was up here.
And he beat Smith's Corner.
We'll get matched.
Lost his position a little bit on the inside.
Christ, this is nutty.
Pushed along by Freddie Gingell, and he's not
put some more money in.
Adrien Dupont, and is dropping back as Ecu de la Noverie leads the way. Smith's Corner is in second. In third is Skylander, and Adrien Dupont has dropped back to be last of all as they turn into the home straight. It's just not going on.
Nutty. This is how the Racetimer can help you. Look. There is no way that does not bounce back up somewhere there. Look, the SP was up here. I know the favourites dropped out of the race, but even still.
Corner comes up to dispute it with him, and Adrien Dupont's going to be pulled up by Freddie Gingell at the back of the field before taking fence number 9.
There is no way I'm not getting matched.
The other 7, all still going. Ecu de la Noverie. David Maxwell has a glance up at the big
we're not even halfway through the race. That's the thing. How can a price come in all the way
to what's his name, improving under Megan
from up here all the way to down here?
They're followed by Pointed and Sharp.
We'll go again. It just can't. We'll get matched on that exit up there, that higher exit, but I might as well try and get some ticks down here at the same time.
Steeplechase Company.
This is how the Racetimer works. This is like just absolutely mental.
Smith's Corner. The first 2 with what's his name in behind them, poised at the moment, just getting pushed along. Is
still down there though, isn't it? Obviously, if it does stay this low and we haven't got matched by up here, then we are going to have to get out. But I have every confidence I will get matched both sides of the book up there.
The remainder now is Kilronan and Castle,
and make even more money in between.
So they've got 6 fences left to jump.
This is just crazy.
With on the outside, Smith's Corner.
There you go. Your watch is coming up. It's got to flick up there for a second. It's got to.
Trying to improve
just has to.
Bit. Ridden along a bit more vigorously as Sky.
I'm out of here, man.
And that is how good the Racetimer is. Do you see what I mean? It had to, didn't it? There's no way it can stay at that price that early for so long. That's just mental. Thank you. £6 for overreaction. Could have got more out of that. I could have probably been out a bit higher, but
over the open ditch with what's
Interested to
his
see
name
if it
coming
wins
to
or not.
try and challenge in second. George Hiscock hasn't pushed every button yet on Story of Friends in third. He's just having to push a little bit now. Would be 4 lengths behind the first two, both under pressure.
I'm out of here, man.
Novry comes to the third last to what's his name in second position. A little bit untied.
Easy money, innit?
Third place is Story of Friends. They're clear of Smith's Corner. So David Maxwell and
But we are getting late in the race now.
And Story of Friends isn't out of this by any stretch. They turn into
Sucker.
Where's our
left
exit?
the jump. Akudala Novry pressed by what's his name. Story of Friends switching to the inside. Here's
Close
the
this
second
off.
last. Akudala Novry, what's his name?
And there you go,
Story of
24
Friends on
quid.
the inner, trying to get through on.
That's how good the Racetimer is. This is how the Racetimer makes me money. You can see we're in the danger zone now. It doesn't really matter who wins. You can see, I told you that was a massive overreaction in the market. You know, it might win the race, but look how far it's gone out. It's gone right the way up to like hundreds now, where it's not even going to win it, is it? What a massive overreaction. And you can see
Market suspended.
how the Racetimer can either make or save you money. £24.12p. Thank you very much, Betfair.
Victory at Warwick last time. He is on the outside of the field. Sean T. Hayes.
We're taking that out because the market's not moving how I wanted it to. You can see there's gaps.
Calculus with an unwanted distraction. The loose, steady away. Unshipped his partner at the first obstacle.
Oh, someone's beat me to it, look. I wish I kept it in now.
Straight, and they're going to run towards flight number 4 of the 9. Miss Moret and James Davies handy on the outside. Professor Calculus having a little look to his left, but Tom Buckley with
a few
his
pence
mind
at the moment
on the job and keeping his horses on it as well as they come towards what will be the last in another circuit. Professor Calculus, Miss Moret, Presgrave, Zoran, Getaway Corey the inside.
Obviously, we've got to keep an eye on the Racetimer.
Right on the inside.
We're not even halfway through the race yet, don't forget. Only small money because I didn't get much matched, and you can see we're bottom of the price.
The loose horse having a
timing, and now the horse has gone back to where it should be, around its SP.
That leads Miss Moret. And then Zoran on the inside. Leader runs
You can't come in too much this early on because value takers will push the price back out. Value layers.
Getaway Corey getting a flick down the shoulder back in the pack.
But you have to consider early days.
Is a long way behind now. Looks likely to be pulled up. As they are now out on this final circuit, the NewtonAbbottRacing.com.
So there's a long, long way to go.
With Professor Calculus leading Zoran. On the outside is Miss Moret. Then Presgrave, Capitalise, Commander Miller out wide. Kepi Blanc just caught on heels going around the inner. Getaway Corey is struggling. Sean T. Hayes has just gone past him.
I'm out of here, man.
Now run towards the first of 2 in the back straight. And it is Professor Calculus that is joined by Miss Moret, who jumped it better than Professor Calculus. Zoran is on the inside. Presgrave is still following them. Commander Miller, Capital East, is just tracking the leaders. Then Kepi Blanc, Sean T. Hayes, Getaway Corey. Miss Moret leads over the third last to Professor Calculus and Capital East. Zoran is under pressure. And then Presgrave, Commander Miller, Kepi Blanc trying to get...
I'm out of here, man.
...with Sean T. Hayes, but it's Miss Moret leading. Quite a big price. She's in front of Capital East.
Now we're getting towards that danger zone.
Is hard at work. Zoran
so
is
it's time to get out. It's just if we can close that off for £7 guaranteed.
Sucker.
Professor Calculus backpedaling, then Commander Miller, Presgrave weakening, and Kepi Blanc not getting any closer. So it's Miss Moret here for Colne Valley Racing.
Lovely, lovely. Let's move on. Next race. £7. £7 a race. That's what we like.
Into the lead. He won for.
But yeah, seriously, like that's how the Racetimer helps me, you know. And now the horse is actually going to go on to win. I didn't know that at the time, but I could see that there was so much time left, and we couldn't consider as a horse drops massively in price at the start when there's still like 3/4 of the race to go. Then it don't mean anything, you know. And the value takers are going to push the price back up because if they've got a horse that was. What was this? Like 4-3 to 1, and it's come right the way into even money. Then they're going to
market suspended.
They're going to lay it and push the price back out. So if you can get bottom of the market when there's a big part of the race left, you're going to make money. Obviously not at the end of the race, the business end, because that's when people can start to see which horse is going to win. But at the early days, no one really knows. It doesn't matter if a horse is in front, whether it's at the back of the field, whether it's the middle field. Any horse can win. and they are pack animals. They run, you know, where they want to run, where they're most comfortable. Some horses like to be at the front. Some horses run better in the pack. Some horses run best at the front. So bear that in mind. Easy money, as long as you use the race timer. Know where you are in the race.
On the far side, the last to clear it is the
I don't know if I got in front of that money or not.
Tomo Roughly. Heading to the middle flight down the back. Sackett into the wings of it, not especially fluent, but landed ahead of Voiberg and Nichols on the Dime.
Something to get matched there, isn't it?
In fourth, and then Good News
and
in Beaufort West. Forward Plan, and finally Tomo Roughly. One more to
I was a tick higher, we'd have got matched and had a profit now.
It will be flight number 4.
Oh, there you go.
Sackett leads them into it with a couple of lengths in hand over Voiberg.
There you go.
Again, the leader not especially fluent. Nichols on the Dime jumped it well, moved up sides Voiberg. And then Good News.
Fully closed off, so this is closed off.
Racing up
the pound. Easy
another,
quid.
Just in front of Beaufort West. Forward Plan.
Early days, look at the race timer.
Of them is Tomo Roughly.
This horse is not going to trade in unless every other horse falls.
2 miles
much more. Look, it's already come in
to approach flight numbers
by
5
half a
and
point.
6. Sackett the leader by a couple of lengths.
It's pretty safe.
To the sheepskin nose-banded Voiberg.
Won't be safe for long, bear in mind. We're not even halfway through the race yet. Look at the race timer.
Port and Raison along on the wide outside. Jumping that hurdle in a close fourth in front of Good News and Beaufort West and Forward Plan. And finally Tomo Roughly over the 6th. Sackett from Nichols on the Dime.
It's going to drop a couple of ticks because I see the market coming in.
Closer up the inside of Good News, and then the held up.
I think my money's safe there still.
3 lengths off the back of them with a circuit to cover. Races
another 50p. Let's top that up.
About to head through their departure point and race up towards flight number 7. So they've gone through halfway. It's Sackett.
Could have gone for more ticks, but I'm not a greedy.
Nichols on the
not a greedy person.
Good News, who's improved for Zach Baker between the two. Then the wide
money's down there.
And Raison. Beaufort West up the inner and Forward Plan are both racing well in touch. Katie Powell's just administered Tomo Roughly a reminder, but he's struggling to keep in touch as they jump the 7th, where Port and Raison put the brakes on and
same deal with Forward Plan. Look,
in doing so,
nicely done.
Under heavy pressure,
same deal.
Enjoying himself and
it's early in the race.
Out of contention. So Sackett leads them towards the top of the hill for the second and final time, with Voiberg and Lauren Keane-Hawkins still a close.
We're only just over halfway, don't forget. I'm going to cancel that one off. I don't want to concentrate on 2 prices at once. Just going to drop that down a little bit.
Progress coming down the hill. On the outside, Beaufort West yet to lead.
In case there's a market overreaction.
Of Tomo Roughly.
Still loads of time, look. It's no biggie, just yet. It will be in a little bit of time.
So Sackett,
don't know that 100 quid is going to hold the price up.
Final time with Voiberg a length and a half away in second, a neck behind on the rail races.
No, I'm still going to hang on.
And then
I'm watching the market. I think we're going to get matched.
Moving up on the outside.
I'm out of here, man.
Okay, right. It's time for safety now because we are getting later on.
Follow several lengths off them is Tomo Roughly as they jump the first in the back straight, and Poor and Raison is continuing in the race, but he's remote. They have 2 more to jump in the back straight, 4 out upcoming. Sackett from Forward.
Now, obviously, we don't want to lose £70 here.
With Voiberg losing ground quickly behind Nichols on the Dime and a rallying Good News. Beaufort West is being shaken up by James King in 5th position now, going past Voiberg as the leaders close in on the 3rd last flight. Forward Plan on the outside of the long-time leader Sackett, with Nichols on the Dime and Good News going up between.
I'm out of here, man.
4 have gone clear, and Forward Plan had the outright lead at the 3rd last. Good News in the red headgear and Nichols on the Dime are giving chase. Long-time leader Sackett can't go on back in 4th, but they've drawn clear of the staying on.
Right, okay, we're going to have to look at getting out of this for a loss.
West Voiberg is about to be pulled up.
Fortunately,
and Raison was pulled up 3 out.
But that is what it is.
Plan with the advantage turning in from Good News and Nichols on the Dime. Tomo Roughly is challenging Sackett for a moderate 4th behind them as the leaders close in on 2 from home. Forward Plan will rise in front. 2 lengths to the good from Good News. Nichols on the dime a further length away up the inside, but still not done with. Forward Plan will come down to the last with a length advantage over Nichols on the dime and Good News. Tomo roughly staying on steadily back in fourth. They're into the final 75 yards. Forward Plan, Good News. Zach Baker stand side coming through, and Good News. Surge is clear near the finish to go on
Market
and win going
suspended.
away. From Forward Plan, Nichols on the dime had every chance.
Oh well.
Tomo roughly.
It's a loser, but you can see how I'm using the race time to do it. I got out at the right time. Granted, the horse didn't win. It did trade in very low, but, you know, what can you do? So I took the £22.50 loss because I didn't want to lose 70 quid. And because I still had time, I managed to make £9 somewhere else. So the loss is only £13.28. Now, that is a lot better than losing 70, 80 quid. Do you know what I mean? So this is one of the trades that didn't work out for me. I've had a loss. Every trader has losses. The trick is to control them and keep them small. 13.28 is my only loss of the day so far, thanks to the race timer, but it's not a £70 loss. I can take £13.28 on the head all the time. You know, I might make that back in the next race or within the next 2. It doesn't matter.
Back and away they go.
Market in play.
As they left the gate in the best odds guaranteed at anybet.com. Handicap over the fly.
Dogly.
Dapper Man, the white and black colours, just about the leader to Harrogate in second.
Come
then
on.
right down that rail is Van Gerwen in the yellow and black colours. White Face of High Security, followed by Burge Malinka. Then Young Tiger and Albigon a little bit outpaced at the rear of the
Halfway
field.
through the race, we're using the race time here.
Halfway point in the contest. 2.5 furlongs just over left to go. And it's the pink jacket of Harrogate that's just about the leader. Dapper Man now being driven along towards the grandstand rail. Towards the far side, the White Face of High Security.
And we're out. 10 quid. There you go. Very much. Thank you, Spank you very much.
The High Security down the centre of the
I'm out of here, man.
That was a bit of research. I would have had to get out at halfway had we not gone match.
I'm out of here, man.
But we did get matched, so it don't matter if it wins or loses.
Sucker.
Job done. 10 quid. By the way, I've done a lot of research on that race.
Market
so
suspended.
don't try and do that with any race. I actually thought High Society would had a good chance of being front. I didn't expect to be a front runner because it did trade down to 208 in the end, so we could have got matched for quite a bit more profit. But I didn't want to take too much of a risk. As the price went out at the start, I was thinking about closing off, but thankfully I had the race timer, so the race timer allowed me to stay in a little bit longer. Obviously, I was watching the race as well, making sure the horse wasn't gonna blatantly get, smashed, and we had a good chance of matching. Had we got into this stage here, we would have had to have closed off, even if it had been a £20, £30 loss. But there you go, £10.74 using the race timer.
5 await them, and it is what's not to know. Green jacket with the orange.
So we're using the race timer to see if we can get picked up early on this front and running horse at a low price. Get out for, I've actually got it to 12 ticks to show you. I'll reset it. But we're using the race timer because we know there's a long way to go in this race. So sometimes people, the markets overreact and the price will come in far too early. And then people will suddenly realise halfway through the race and the price will go back out again. Whether it wins or not, it don't really matter, as long as we get matched both sides of the book.
Light fitted with the first time hood, and this trio were covered by a blanket of 2.5 lengths as they head on their way towards flight number 5.
You can see that we're only a quarter of the way through the race so far.
On the outside of Fort Worth, Texas, who's a faller. Fort Worth, Texas was disputing the back position when coming down over flight number 5. Horse and Shane Fitzgerald are quickly to their feet as the remaining quartet race left-handed, heading on their way towards the next, which is flight number 6. What's not to know, and Darrow O'Keefe with the advantage. You safely head over to the Boss's Oscar in the second position, and Jack Kennedy with Chinks of Light and Simon Torrance being stalked by Fakir and Jordan Gainford at the rear of the 4, who remain running as they race into the back straight, passing through their
we're so early on in the race,
heading on their way towards 7 and 8.
It takes quite a lot of money to come in, get
down
me
along the back straight. And it is What's Not to
Got
Know,
to be in it to win it though.
who's been contesting some graded handicaps in his last 3 runs, drops down in grade this evening and has the advantage over the Bosses Oscar, who finished second in last year's Pertemps final. Chinks of Light reached for it in the 3rd position, allows him to close on the Bosses Oscar as they head on their way towards flight number 8. They're through the halfway point in the feature
So
race.
this is an example of how the race timer earns me money. So we're up here now for £5.
What's Not to Know. The advantage by a length over the Bosses Oscar, top rated.
You know, and just little camera angles can make a difference. I'm hanging on.
Was a wide margin winner.
I can lower it now if I want,
3 weeks ago,
but I'm not going to, because just look how much time there is. Got so much time to get picked up.
Fakir is at the rear of the field, the second of the Gordon Elliott runners.
I'd be really surprised if I don't get matched. Honestly, I really would be.
Left-handed, heading back into the home straight and on their way towards flight number 9, which is the first of the 3 up the home.
This is a market that's moving really slowly as well, but I can always drop it a tick or two, but I don't really think I need to. I'm pretty confident I'm going to get matched both sides of the book.
A serious air route over it, and loses the 2nd position as a result.
Now that's not great.
Of Fakir as they go out over the next, where it was the turn of What's Not to Know to get in deep to it.
Go on, and the other 20. Go on, keep going, and there you go. Easy £5. How easy was that?
In 2x2 formation.
See if we can get it again. That's 12 ticks we just got there. Watch the race timer. This is how the race timer earns me money every day of the week.
With the Bosses Oscar. Chinks of Light still in that 3rd spot.
Now I'm not saying this horse isn't going to win.
The What's Not to Know wasn't foot.
All I'm saying is
the head of the
there's
field.
loads of time
Still
left.
Has the Bosses Oscar giving close
Come on, and the rest.
on the outside,
get it out.
and the double seeking Jack Kennedy.
And the rest, go on. And there you go. Shall we do it again?
Fakir as they
watch the race timer. That's important. We're going for 12 ticks of time here as well. Don't forget.
Towards the next, which is 4 from the finish. It's flight number 13.
Now there's only 4 left, so we've got to get this one out quicker, then we're done.
Advantage edging back upwards to a length now in favour of What's Not to Know.
I'm watching that race timer. Don't forget all the time. We want to get picked up quick because we are running out of time.
4 lengths would cover the.
Now we're out of time and we don't want to be doing it. There you go. That's how you use the race timer to make money. It's pretty straightforward. Now I don't give a monkey. Sorry. Who wins the race now? It makes no odds to me. I've made £11. That is the race timer. It's worth its weight in gold. If What's to Know wants to go on and win the race now, it really doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me who wins. I've got my money. I did it safely in a safe time frame by using the race timer.
Sucker.
Introducing Geek's Toy trading software, the fastest, most customizable and most popular software for betting and trading on Betfair and BetDAQ. Designed by professional traders for you. Key features include unlimited desktop settings and the ability to create custom profiles to suit every user's needs. Unbeatable speed, real-time prices and one-click betting. Unique management of multiple markets. You can bet or trade on multiple sporting events simultaneously. Support for 8 languages. Context-driven help on every window. Dutching and bookmaking. Training mode. Advanced charting. Enhanced navigation. Support for Betfair coupons. Stop loss and more. Geek's Toy. Possibly the best Betfair and BetDAQ trading software in the world.